Hello everyone, I am back. I'm going to be black and white. I am back for just a little bit. I would like to address an issue that several of my clients have been experiencing at the same time. So, why Russian, Ukrainian, Slavic people do not often trust or welcome or request even for their support, help of a professional therapist, consultant, something that I do, helping to people for people to adjust, to understand uh, what's going on. Mentality difference reader, that's what I do a lot. What is that issue that Russian, Ukrainian, and Slavic people, why are they afraid or do not trust people that either help with mental health, psychological issues, adjusting, adaptation? Let's talk about this. I'm just going to give you a few examples. First of all, I want to start with this. Guys, you have to understand, most of us grew up in post-USSR reality. We didn't have psychologists, we didn't have coaches, we didn't have consultants or advisors. That is this is relatively a very, very new concept. Personally, I think these specialists are as important as any other, because we are whole human. We are not just biological people, and a lot of times our mental or emotional or psychological issues can affect our well-being and so on and so forth. Hello guys, welcome back. I'm well. I have been live just about an hour ago or so, but I just felt it will bring some value, and it will bring some light to those of you who trying to figure out what to do if your lady does not want to talk to a consultant, or does not want to make any connections. And let's talk about this, okay? I'm a little bit on fire because I was just going through the history of what I have been doing, and I can tell you that a lot of times men reaching out to me, and I have been talking with a number of ladies, just answering questions, because there is a big difference between a there is a big difference between your experiences in US, as you've been living in US all your life, and between a Ukrainian lady like myself who came here some time ago, had been adjusting to the new reality, and how that is in my skin. So a lot of times I have been a mediator. So I help men and women to from different countries, different mentalities, to understand each other. So I'm mediating because a lot of times people want to have the same thing, but they form sentence differently. They think differently. That's one of the things. So if your lady does not want to talk with somebody else who can sort of mediate, a lot of times it's because they are shy, a lot of times because they feel it's private, they are not used to somebody being in their business, and sometimes they think that I'm not a consultant or person that helps, advisor, but they sometimes think that I am, maybe his friend or co-worker, and they don't want the private business somebody else talking about it. And I understand that. I wouldn't want my private business to be talked with other people as well. So digest this for a minute, as I'm gonna recognize some of you on the call here. Oh, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. I appreciate your generous support. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is so kind of you. You did what you told you're gonna do. Thank you. Let a lot more come back to you, all right? I appreciate this, guys. I have three, no, I have two Johns on the call, so I need to make a wish. And Mark, welcome, welcome everyone. If you have time, watch my previous videos that I made today. Thank you again for the generous support, Mark. Appreciate it. So, I really want to tell you guys, there is a very fine line between a lady that would not want to talk to somebody and learn, how is it life in United States, how protected the lady in United States is, what is the adjustment period, how do you feel. I had some most wonderful conversations with my clients' fiancés, and I don't talk with them like, oh, I know everything and I'm a professional, so you listen to me. No, we talk as two ladies. We talk as I don't know, I just love people and I love helping somebody, and a lot of times I've already know the story, so I'm just trying to be a support. It's easy for me to put myself in the shoes of the other lady and understand that you are about to take a huge decision, you're about to change the country, you're about to change your life, and the only thing or the only person you know from that new life is your fiancé, your future husband. And obviously there is mentality difference, gender differences, age differences, generational difference, all kinds of things. And honestly, if I would have somebody to help me when I was coming here, especially when we start to have difficulties in our marriage, that would be gold. I would do anything for the person that could help us understand each other. But it was difficult, and this is one of the times when the idea was born in my head, that I would love if I could figure this out, if I can find common ground, if we can solve our conflicts, if I could learn how to step in his shoes. I would love to help people, because there is nothing more sad when two people genuinely love each other, but they speak literally and different languages, but also as a figure of speech. Also, they speak different languages, and sometimes when people ask me what I do for a living, I say that I am an interpreter. And it's not that I am not saying the truth. To me, I am an interpreter, because just because you speak English language or Russian language or Ukrainian language, it doesn't mean you speak or know the mentality. And one of my very, very favorite things to do is to help people to understand each other. So why I'm sharing this? I'm sharing this because I have both perspective. I've been in that place, and also I am now in a place, I'm walking in the purpose of helping other people, and I just absolutely love doing it. One day when I'm super rich, or super just I have everything I need and want, I probably still would be doing this for just my satisfaction of helping people. It might be a different way of doing it. So what I would like to share with you guys, there is a fine line between the lady that has something to hide, that does not want to talk with somebody you trust because they don't want me to figure them out, or that sometimes some Russian and Ukrainian women have a lot of pride. We think, okay, I know everything, I'm the best, my English is the best, my skills are the best, I'm smart enough, I don't need your help. We do have a pride issue, there is no doubt about it. A lot of times women feel competitive, and they're just not used to having a counselor or advisor or a therapist for whatever issue you have, and they feel that their privacy would be violated because they are not ready to talk about their private things. They don't know that this is confidential, and that the person they'll be talking to have their best interest in mind. It doesn't matter who you're working with. Maybe you have a relative, maybe you have some persons that you trust. Maybe you have your best friend's wife that has been here and she just wants to help. When I came to United States, I didn't have anybody helping me with adjusting, really. I mean, with moving. But once we got here, I did have two friends that were basically doing in a way what I'm doing this. So one of them was working at the hospital, and she was an interpreter, and she was extremely social, and she loved to help and guide people, and how to do everything. Basically, you need to learn how to walk again. And another one was a stay-at-home mom, and she was as sweet as can be. She was, I mean, we're still friends with both of these ladies. 11 years after, we are still friends. They are incredible, and they are very loving. The interpreter was more professional in that, because she basically helps people every single day. She translates in a hospital. She is also extremely extroverted, but she gave me some good ideas and things that she figured out living here that would be helpful for me, that my husband wouldn't know at the time. So, and another lady who was a stay-at-home mom, she gave me a lot of perspective on, how to be, a better housewife, how to figure out things here in US, what to buy for your child. Those are kind of everyday trivial things, but she taught me a lot of things. Like, I didn't know what garage sale is. I didn't know what estate sale is. I didn't know how do you drive a car when everything looks the same. So she was also from Kiev, Ukraine, and by the way, her adjustment was rough. Her husband is actually Ukrainian. He's from Kiev, but when he brought her over here, she had a mental breakdown, because she said, "How anybody can live here?" Here it means in Michigan, and she lived in East Lansing, which is known as Michigan State University town. So she almost like got divorced right away with her Ukrainian husband, which means mentality issues really easy, because we speak same language, same mentality, but she could not adjust. She a proud girl from Kiev. She loved the city, she's used to the city. So she was telling him, "Listen to me, how could you do this to me? What have I done for you? You can't torture me, send me back, I hate this." So it took her several years to really be okay with living here. And her husband is a wonderful man. I know him for many years now as well. They have great families. They really like an example of Ukrainian dream, if I can say. They are a wonderful family. And so she I could relate to her, because she was from my city. She was a little bit, a few years older than me, but it doesn't matter. She came earlier too. So we came here almost at the same time in our lives. So I could relate to her about my frustration, like how everything works, where to go, what to do. And so she helped me tremendously just by being a friend that understands that it takes adjustments, and it's just many practical things, some emotional things. Before I had you guys, I had time to talk with my friends on the phone, good old times. uh no, I'm not blaming you. I enjoy what I do, and just have to plan to make sure to see good friends. But she is like my my godmother, because she's just the most loving, open-hearted, beautiful person, and she helped me. We kind of helped each other at certain things. But anyway, to make a long story short, I had these two people that influenced me when I came here. Okay, and that was very powerful. It was very helpful. And not only that they were friends, but they also had knowledge already. They've been here for Actually, they've been here for 8 and 12 years, so they knew stuff. Now, what could you do with, what could you do is, if your lady, if you would like her to talk to me, a lot of times men would like to, some of my subscribers, my followers, they would like their lady to talk to me because they're just trying to understand her better. They try to understand her intentions. They try to understand, what kind of personality she is, how she really feels about them, because I can tell you how the person feels about you without asking them. You don't need to ask. As women, we connect on a different level. You guys will never understand, will never read. No matter, even if you speak 15 languages, you will never understand the way women connect. So if this is the thing, well, you can bring the horse to the water, but you cannot make it drink. So if your lady, she's absolutely denying, she's uncomfortable, she's thinking, maybe I'm your friend or colleague or something weird, she's, not so, she doesn't feel so well about this all, what you could do is just say okay. But, if I was trying to help, there are people that are consulting, and there are actually adjustment services, in immigration for people who have hard time to adjust in, they recommend you different organizations to join and things like that. So you can just tell her, okay, well, if you don't feel comfortable, I'm not gonna force you. My goal was to have your questions answered, to maybe some questions you're shy to ask me, I would not force somebody. If she's absolutely against it, I would just let it be like that. I think the point is to say that there are people that help. There are people that not only translate but can help you to feel more comfortable, more prepared. Even things like, what clothes to take with you. For us women, it's important. What shoes to take with you. You guys might laugh about it, but for us, it's important because if, for example, I should make a video about this. There are certain items that you can't buy here in US, or they are extremely, extremely important. Wait, not important. They are important, but they are overpriced. Like, for example, if she has a fur coat, she better bring it here because it's expensive. If you go to a regular shop or like regular mall, not regular, but a nice place, it can cost thousands of dollars. So something that is really well made, like well tailored and stuff like that. So questions from, what to bring with you, to how women protected here, what rights does she have, what to expect, what is the mentality about career, what if she doesn't want a career but she also wanna have some kind of little business being at home. And so I do all kinds of consultations like this, and I believe that it's important to offer you the option and let you choose. Now, if you have a red flag, if you are not sure, things are not looking good, you suspect that she is dishonest with you, if you suspect that she might be not telling you the truth, that she's hiding something, that she's narcissistic or any kind of dishonesty or scamming or personality flaw, you can, no matter who you talk to, no matter who you hire to talk to her, there is nothing wrong with that. You can just say it's a requirement because she has the same requirement. She can ask for the same requirement for you. She can ask somebody, to ask you questions, to kind of vet you a little bit more, to make sure if you are that you are honest and open. She can even run, let you run a background check on you. You can do a background check online. It's kind of important at times, but I don't think, this is really not about finding secret stuff and, and be suspicious of each other. There is nothing wrong with getting to know somebody. And, if you have a suspicion, guys, I want you to once again trust your gut. Every single person I talked to who made a crucial mistake, who brought the wrong person, married the wrong person, um, got cheated on, got hurt in any size, shape, or form, all these people that I talked to knew that something was off. So there are some women that would pretend and play, and as soon as they come here, they become a different person. It's, I would say honestly, it's on a smaller scale. I would say it's maybe only 10% from my statistic, my personal statistic. So don't quote me. I would say it's only about 10, maybe 15% that would play love, would play passion, would even have some kind of, different exciting sex with you to kind of blind you, but then when you wake up it's too late. So if you have suspicions for your safety, if you have if you are suspicious about that, you don't need to be shy. You can just say, listen, it would really mean a lot to me. You are also allowed to ask any question you want about me, any detail about me. I'm okay with that. So kind of show her that you would like to have more information with her. You would like somebody you trust to talk to her, but she's welcome to do the same. Either she can have somebody talking to you, or you can both be on a call at the same time. But I just want to tell you this, guys. It's not like you have to do it. It's some kind of like requirement. You might never have to do this. It really depends. But if you have that little bit of a doubt, it's so much better to check while you can and be safe, because 10% are 10%. It's not zero. And women, okay, I'm gonna tell you a story here or on the Patreon. You know what? I'm gonna tell it to you on the Patreon. So those of you who are my subscribers on Patreon, you will hear the story in detail. I'm just gonna give you a hint here. So a friend who was an interpreter, she got married to her client that she was translating on a date for. And he was very lucky that she was translating. Kind of doing not just the language translating, but mentality translating. Yes, he ended up married her. He ended up marrying her. But how and why? Neither of them were, dishonest or bad people. But something happened on that date that that was the result. So it's not that you are not intelligent enough or smart enough, but sometimes the third opinion, even when you go to the doctor to get an operation, sometimes you go to several different doctors. You want to hear what's going on, because it's better to do more and never use it than not do it and realize, oh wow, I just had the surgery, I didn't have to have it. Things like that. So I encourage you to connect with you, with your feelings, with your logic. You guys beat us at logic at any time, with your analytical thinking, and yes, with your gut. If you feel something is off, you have a right to ask for help. Ukrainian women, Russian women often feel awkward once again about consultants and therapists. It wasn't part of our culture for many years. Our country is like 28 or 29 years old. Now 29. Our entire country is like a young woman, not very experienced yet. So, I mean, the new countries, post-USSR, and we grew up in the post-USSR. So it was not a thing back then. And it takes at least a generation or two, like 20 years and then 20 years more, and maybe even more, to get into these civilizational things. In our culture, our therapists, our consultants, our friends, which is good from one perspective, but could be very bad from another, because you can get betrayed, you can get talked about, and sometimes you just want to keep affairs of your heart for yourself because it's very private, and when once you share it with others, it's almost like it doesn't belong to you. You know, there are some things that are very, very intimate, and we want to keep them for ourselves. So I hope I gave you an idea how this all works. I want to say hi to everybody. I have to um, get going, but I just really felt like I'd like to share with you what was on my heart. Each time I receive more than one request for something, when there are 2, 3, 5 requests, I just feel it's an issue to address. Thank you guys. Muncher Mike, hello, New York City again. He sent excellent information and very interesting as always. Thank you, my lovely friend. Thank you. Veronica, a lot of fear associated with the move to United States. We are talking about these things right now. Much fear. Glad to know you might help with this. That is exactly. John hit the nail on the head. It's a lot of times it's just fear. It's unknown. It's unknown, and you just it really helps to listen to experience somebody you can relate to. Once again, it's harder for her to relate to you because she is not an American man who grew up here. She's a Russian or Ukrainian woman that never been here. And I can tell you, if I tell you that I felt that I'm 5 years old again when I came here, you better believe it. So 10, 11 years ago when I came here, the way everything works, the structure of everything, I never had a credit card in my life. I got salary in envelopes, like under the table. So Ukrainian officials, just so you know, most of my life I got the money under the table. I didn't have bank account. I didn't know what PayPal is. I didn't know how to drive a car, and especially I did not understand how in the world you drive here. Everything looks the same. So how do you know where? Like, I felt like most people must be geniuses. How do they know where do you turn? Like everything. But then there are exits, there are main roads, there are highways, and you can read the signs. I really felt that my husband must be a genius because he would always know where to turn. So it is very confusing, it is scary, but when you come here, you have new fears and intimidation, a little bit of adjusting. But when you're over there, you just have a fear, even how to get ready, what is waiting for you. You know, what if the husband is not nice to you? What if, he's abusive and you don't have anybody else to go? You're alone. You're one person, ocean away from all of your friends, all of your family. So, what if you are turned out to be, I'm gonna make a video how to spot a bee early. We're gonna call her a narcissist, but it's really, you know what I mean. Children might be watching, but I was considering making that video how to spot that kind of lady early so you don't have to, suffer later. So anyways, all these questions, yes, fears is real, but fear and doubt gets killed with knowledge. So that's all, guys. I want to say thank you so much for joining me for the second time today. I'm giving you my generous care while I can, when I can. Okay. And stories and follow up on my videos are coming to a Patreon account. I'll tell you the story about my interpreter friend, how she got married and why. What happened? What the red flag pop on that date? What happened, And how important was for that man that she was there. That's number one. And there is another follow-up on my previous videos that I made today. So thank you guys for your support, and feel free to share your thoughts, your concerns under the video. Have a wonderful evening, guys, and I will see you very soon.